Hi, praise Lord everyone. Today, I hope that by the grace of God, everyone are fine. You know very well that every Christian will be fine because everyone who is truly in God will be fine because the Bible is saying that every human being is blessed with two angels who will be protecting us on all our days. So we will be always fine. And I would like to tell you something that in Hyderabad today, 2 days back, I was seeing that a man is bowling and suddenly he got heart stroke and he fell down and died. And today a man was dancing and giving a performance. He was an artist. Suddenly he was fallen and it was and died. That is, he got heart stroke. I just want to tell that today you and me, by this time we are alive, that because of grace of God, not because of something that we are great, but that's just because of grace of God. So God has some plans in our life. So before we die, we must fulfill the plans of God. What are the will of the God in our life? God has many plans, many much more plans in our life. So our life is not enough to fulfill all those plans. So let's get set go right now and let us know what is the plans of the God and fulfill each and every plan of the God in our life. And coming to today verses, it was Matthew 20 chapter 20 and verse 15. Is it not Lord here? It was a parable where heaven here a owner goes and hires a worker for 1 rupee for the day, and later after 3 hours he goes and finds other worker and he will employ him. Likewise he will employ so many workers in one day, and at the end of the day the owner is giving the same amount of salary. That means the salary to the person who worked from morning to evening, and the salary to the person who worked just last 1 hour is same. Then the man who worked from morning to evening comes and questions the owner, saying, why you're giving the same amount of salary? Then the owner says that, am I doing wrong? I told you that I'll give you 1 rupee for the day I gave you. That's the matter is closed. And why you're comparing yourself with others? And here it says that, is it not lawful for me to do what I will with mine own? Is thine I evil because I am good? Here says that uh, he says that it's my will. I will do whatever I want with my money, and as I promised with you, I have fulfilled your promise. So you just go away. In the same way, God sometimes gives. Sometimes we find that many people who are very holy in God, sometimes they die unexpectedly, due to in accidents, maybe in disease conditions. Then sometimes our mind we get a question that, why did God kill them, although they are very holy? Why did they die so unexpectedly before their age of death? Here we find some example in Bible also, that Stephen is being beaten by people and Stephen dies. But when you come to the case of John, who wrote the book of Revelations, when you see that John is being attempted, the king want to murder John, and he throws the John from the walls of the fort, but John is not dead. And even king puts John in oil, but John is not dead. Even king gives poison to John, but John is not dead. Here God is protecting John from all the kinds of things, but here in case of Stephen, God did not protect him. What is the reason? Why did God take off the life of Stephen, and why did God give life to John? That is none of our business. It's the will of the God in their life, and it was being done. That's all. And we are not here to question the will of the God. The same way, in our life also, we must know what is the will of the God and we must move forward. And even sometimes the will of the God in some other people's case, if you start comparing the will of the God in others life and in our life, and if you find that the will of the God in their life is very high and in our life is very low, then you cannot question God, saying that God, why your will is so good in that person, and why your will in me is very low. You cannot question God, because it's up to God to he knows your capacity and my capacity, and to that extent only he will keep his will in us. Okay. And coming to the verses, Exodus chapter 23 and 24 of our reading of today, 23 and 24. Here I want to talk about 24, chapter 24 and verse 4. Here this verse gives a proof that Moses wrote the Bible, the first 5 books of Bible, that is nothing but Pentateuch. Pentateuch. The first 5 books of Bible are known as Pentateuch. Pentateuch. So here the Pentateuch are being written by Moses, and this is one of the, this verse is one of the proof that it was being written by Moses. Here the Moses wrote all the words of the Lord. See, the Moses wrote all the words of the Lord and rose up early in the morning. This is an example that this is proof that Moses wrote the first 5 books of Bible. And coming to 9th, same 24th chapter 9th verse, here God says, Moses asks Moses, Aaron, Nadab and Abihu and plus 70 members to approach to the mountain. And here the 70 members approach to the mountain. Here these 70 people are among 6 lakh people. Already God gave his presence to 6 lakh people. That means in that 6 lakh these 70 people are also there, and these 70 people are also these 70 people also saw the presence of the God on that day. And this time, second time, these 70 people are going to see the presence of the God, and second time these people sees the presence of the God separately, these 70 people. That means these 70 people saw the presence of the God twice. But still, when we see that the number of people who stepped into Canaan, among these 6 people, these among these 6 lakh, or among these 70, only 2 people, that is Joshua and Caleb, only 2 people stepped into the place. That means these 70 people who saw, in these 70 people, only 2 people, that is Caleb and Joshua, stepped into Canaan. Remaining 68 people did not step into the promised land, even though these 68 people saw the God twice, that is once along with 3 lakh and once separately. In our life also, on the eve of New Year, we will take some commandments, covenants from God in church, and we feel that, oh, my covenant is very good. No, God is just want to bring that covenant in your life, but you must also be ready to accept that covenant. That means you must be holy, you must be patient, and you must be waiting for the will of the God, and you must be growing in God in that year. Then the God's covenant of the year will fulfill your life. It's not that God's covenant you received in church, then it is going to be fulfilled definitely. No, you must be also able to make it yours. God gave it like this, like God said that I will make these people to step into the land of promised land. But still, only how many people are able to step into the land? 2 people, that is Caleb and Joshua. Just because Caleb and Joshua are able to grasp, are able to receive the God, that's the reason they received the commandments. In the same way, in Bible also we are having many blessings. Those blessings are for everyone, but only those blessings will be fulfilled in those lives, those people. To those people the blessings will be received who are able to accept those, who are able to accept God, and who live God, and who trust God for years together. So you must be able to accept the blessings also. You must be worthy of accepting the blessings. And coming to here, that in 24 to verse 15th verse, it was written that so this along with 70 people, Moses will be waiting at the mountain, and later God asks Moses to come up to the mountain, and Moses goes up to the mountain, and here Moses waits for 6 days to hear the voice of the Lord. And on the seventh day, God's clouds will come and cover the Moses, and Moses will spend 40 days and nights with God. Today, I would like to ask everyone who is listening this audio that how many of us are able to spend their Sunday Sunday worship at least for 4 to 5 hours. Anyway, we are not spending much time in church all the 6 days, but on the seventh day itself, we just feel that when the church is going to complete, let the church complete soon and we can go home and eat. Every day we are eating, every day we are enjoying. Why can't we stay in church for a long time on Sunday? If you are not giving time for God, then God will also not look upon you. Remember that. And one day you will lose the heaven, like those people who after seeing the will of the God also they lost the heaven. If you are not giving time for God, if you are not spending your time in God, then you will also lose your blessings for sure. And it was written in Bible that whoever first seek my kingdom and my will, and everything will be given to you. So my dear friend, there are many blessings in the Bible, and you must be able to receive those blessings by living holy, and also not only that, by praying every day. And you must be ready to spend as much time as possible in the presence of the God. Praise the Lord.